Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, 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 oh. I put red on this morning. It's a cheerful color to get up in the morning and, I start saying, oh, I'll wear my pajamas. I said, no, 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 no. I'm going to get up and get dressed. So I did. And then I heard noise outside. And I said, what is that noise? Sounds like somebody's in our trash can. So I walked out. Our ice is gone, and yay, it's 39 degrees. So anyway, I walked out there, and there was the trash man by hand emptying the trash cans. Well, recently, as you know, I don't know, maybe you don't know, but the city of North Little Rock hired these trucks that would unload not only recycle, but also the trash, the garbage slash. And so we had that in a blue can, and then we had the green yellow one for the recycle, right? Well, get back to the story. So I look out there, and there are two men out there running from one side of the street to the other like they used to back in the day. And they're pulling bags and stuff out of the trash bags and throwing them in the back of a truck. I stand out there watching them, and I said, they're so proud of their work. Or either they know when they're finished they can go home. Either way, they've been off because of the weather, right? I'm sure that this would be extra money especially on a Saturday, to pick up the trash, because I'm sure they have days when they're off because of snow, but they still get paid. But who knows? Maybe they don't. But anyway, getting back to my story. So I'm standing out there with my white pants and my red top and my little red thing here. I'm just so proud of myself. And one of the guys said, good morning. And I said, good morning to you, like that. So the other fella, as they're throwing the trash in the back of the truck, says, good morning to you. And I was thinking, I'm glad I wore red. I'm glad I got out and stood out by the gate and watched the trash man get the trash, because it made my day. I mean, isn't that funny how a small blessing like that is a blessing for sure? They took the time to say hello. Yes. Now, they may not have said hello if I was in my gown and my house shoes as usual, but I do not know that. And I don't see them all the time because I'm stuck in this apartment. I don't get out when they're out collecting garbage. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, my day has started out so good. The trash man said hello. Isn't that wonderful? It doesn't matter what kind of job you have. You take pride in your job, and you share who you are. And don't be a grumpy old grump. You're working on Saturday. They were like that at all. They were just very pleasant. And then as they drove away, I'm still standing there like a dodo bird. A random dodo bird. and the one of the guys turned around. He was in the truck. The one that was in the truck, he didn't say anything, so he waved. Wasn't that sweet? So I imagine there was 10 of us out there, and we're going, bye, bye, like we're little kids. Okay, I know I'm mentally insane, but that's okay, because I'm happy in it. I'm happy in the joy of it. Oh, yeah, happy in the joy. I'll never forget when my daughter was, well, let's see, she was in the second grade, I guess. She wanted to be a brownie. If you know what a brownie is, it's the lowest class, no, the beginning of becoming a Girl Scout. I mean, it was getting in there, getting your badges or whatever you did, and you get your little thing and you get sworn in. I can't even remember. Do y'all remember what the little brownie code was? I don't know. But I wanted my daughter to be part of that. I thought, well, I'm going to be a good mom. I can do this. So I went to the meeting that they were forming their little troops. And so I was sitting there, just as proud as can be because, my little girl's wanting to be a brownie. Sitting there, they tell us all about our responsibilities and a little manual and gave us a sort of a thing. And then they set us up to go on a retreat class for your camping experience so you can be a brownie scout. I mean, a brownie parent and how it all worked. And also, they were at the time enlisting people to be brownie leaders, assistant brownie leaders, the food brownie leader, all the different, however big troop you had. Okay, so Miss Buford's daughter told them, the one who was in charge, which happened to be a girl I graduated from school, Charlotte Bennett, was that her name? Yeah, I think so, Charlotte Bennett. Couldn't believe it after all, it'd only been what? 8 years since I'd seen her since graduation. But anyway, and anyway, Miss Buford's daughter volunteered her mom, and her mom just turned white. I mean, white. And then her face turned red. Now, not everyone brought their daughter, but I did. But she was just sitting there minding her own business, just looking around because she was a looker. One of those girls that look at everything and figure things out. She's a looker. But Miss Buford's daughter was more like, me. Oh, I want me. I want, which is okay because that's how I am now. But anyway, so Miss Buford said, is there anyone else? Like that, save me someone. And she's so sweet and soft. That kind of person that's so sweet and soft and very nice voice, very, very nice young lady. The rest of us were in jeans and t-shirts. But anyway, she said, okay, all right. And she said, but I need somebody to help you. Well, I'm sitting right next to her. Now, how can I not help this poor, pitiful lady, just like me, same age as me, everything, How can I not let her have my support? It's so important. And I turned to her and I said, would you like me to help you? And she hugged me. Yes. So then we began our seventh grade. No, it was the beginner of the brownies. Anyway, you have 3 years of brownies, I think. Anyway, and it's administered through the school and through the church, the Methodist church. So we met at the Methodist church, and then we handled the how it all goes. And so all of a sudden, little girls were coming. We were having our first meeting. And there was Crystal, my daughter. And there was Miss Buford's and her daughter. And I can't remember, Victoria or something. And we were waiting on the brownies, to come in. And here come the moms, with their little girls' hands in their hands, and the little girls either running, leaving their mom, or staying right with them. You know how little kids are. They all wanted to be brownies. Well, here they come, and we had, maybe 10. I think we started out with 10, put it that way, and 10 little girls, okay. And so Miss Buford, she started, saying, well, welcome, da-da-da-da, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and because Miss Buford already made out a calendar. I was so impressed with her, and I was just assistant. I just had to sit there and look pretty. Not really. I wasn't pretty at all. But anyway, so she went on. She said, now, first thing we're going to do this, and we're going to learn the brownie pledge. And then we're going to have this crafts, and we're going to learn about brownies. And then we're going to have a uh, where you become a brownie. You actually become a brownie, and you get a pen, and then the little magazines went out where all the people were saying, "Now this is where you get your uniform, and you don't have to wear your uniform," because a lot of us didn't have money to buy uniforms. So we found one at Goodwill, or we knew somebody that outgrown one, or carport. So you know how that went. So sidetracked a little bit there. So anyway, she's continuing with her list of things that we're going to do through this particular time frame. You know, beginning to school gets out, or through summer, I guess, till next fall or something. Anyway, one of them were to go camping at the Girl Scout camp over by the river, the Arkansas River. Don't remember the name of it right off. Anyway, we were going through everything. The kids are getting very excited. The parents are going like, "Oh my God!" And then we said we're going to meet every Tuesday night. It starts at such a time, and these are things they need to do at home, and then they bring them up there, and we'll finish whatever craft or something. Because we had to have a assistant craft mom. So by the time we got all the jobs assigned for all the brownie helpers, almost every brownie mother had a job. We had the cookie mom, the drink mom, the craft mom, the parade mom, because that was important, because we were going to be walking in the Christmas parade, because that's what brownies did in Sherwood. So we all got, it was just a great meeting. It went so well. We were so happy. And the one thing that she forgot, after we got home, we're congratulating each other on the phone. "Yeah, we did good. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We got a great group of girls, la, la, la," trying to remember their names, and writing their names down on pads, and, And, of course, we had to have the monitor mom. And she was the one taking all the notes, until we got a brownie that could take the minutes. Of course, that never really worked out. It ended up her mother took the minutes. But anyway, we had our own little troop. We were ready. We were gung-ho. And I guess 1 week later, Miss Buford, can't I remember her first name? All I remember is Miss Buford. She got a postcard in the mail. And the postcard in the mail said, "What is your order for Girl Scout cookies? And this is the sheets and stuff, you give the kids to sell Girl Scout cookies." Well, Miss Buford hadn't put that on the list. It just went over her head, or we just didn't think about it. And everybody celebrated Girl Scout cookies. I mean, everybody. We all knew that, but we didn't think about it until we got that card from Charlotte Bennett's office at the Girl Scout headquarters in Little Rock. Or was it North Little Rock? I don't remember. Anyway, so we had to work that in. Well, I could tell you all kinds of stories about our troop. I mean, they were the cutest children, and their parents were amazing. And they were just like me, just going in and blowing the best you can with a full-time job, 2 kids at home, and now you're a Girl Scout assistant in some role of that troop business. We did get down to about 8 Girl Scouts by the time we ended that year. But most of them just couldn't get to meetings. People's shifts were changed, and they couldn't get their daughter to the meeting, or they couldn't afford to go to the camp, and so we didn't have enough money in our little kitty to, it was just that things happen. But we had some great troopers. And I'll tell you some stories later about some adventures we went on into, but I do want to mention to you that I guess it was in the 80s. Maybe it was 80s. Yeah, 80s. I was going to an office for some reason, and I was had to come in the front door where they sign you in, And the lady that was behind there said, "Hello, Miss Skiles." And I looked at her, and she was one of my brownies. One of my brownies. Now, in 10 years, or let's see, this Girl Scout troop was, what year was that? 72, maybe? Maybe 72. Maybe 73, something. So it was like in the 80s. Yeah, it was bad to be in the 80s. So, she'd all grown up and had a job working behind the desk of this great big business, and and it took me a minute to see who she was, because when she gave me the name, I saw the image of her as a little girl. And it took me that second, and it was so wonderful. And so she says, "Do you remember when we did this? Do you remember that?" I said, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do." And it was just for a minute because, she was busy and I had an appointment. But it was so delightful. And so as the years went by, 30 years or something, now they're all doctors, lawyers, and Indian chiefs, or they work at McDonald's, or no matter where they are, it didn't make any difference to me. They were my little scouts, my little brownies. So sometimes we make our own little memories, and we have to sit back and think about all I can think about is when they were all lined up. All lined up that day. Grandmothers were there. It's going to be a big deal. It's going to be the swearing in of the brownies. And each, they all went and got in their line and said that I promised to prepare to whatever the promise was. Each one of them. And the crowd, I was just looking back at everyone, and it was just a little small room. It wasn't that big or anything. But I was looking at all the smiles and those little girls. And of course, there were little boys in the audience already, picking noses and throwing things, for little kids. But the moment I captured in my mind is a treasure. It is a treasure. Not that I did anything spectacular, but I was in the moment. And I will never forget it. Never forget it. But I will tell you about some more adventures with them, because it was an adventurous year, especially with Girl Scout cookies. Well, let's see. I'm sorry. I got a little sidetracked this morning with my story, because it came to me. For some reason, the brownie troop came to my mind, and I was thinking, we have our own little treasure chest, in our minds. And when you're growing up, I bet you put things in your treasure chest, just like I do now, and just like I did when I was young, and I'm sure you did too. That special thing, like being selected to sing, to be let's see, what did I have to be? I had to be a sheep at church for the manger scene. Well, all I had to do, somebody brought me a blanket, a white blanket. And they pinned with safety pins 2 pink eyes. And then they they embroidered a mouth on this towel thing, a blanket. And they threw it over me and cuddled it in. Well, it got pretty hot. But I can remember I was so proud to be a sheep. I guess we're all sheep, aren't we? Following our shepherd, no matter who it is, or how you believe. We're all sheep, just following what goes on, and also taking care of ourselves. And that's what we need to always remember, to take care of ourselves, our bodies, what we do, what we think, what we relive to keep us happy. And I have to think about, it said something, it said, remember things that make you happy. Forget about things that make you blue. Because when you're happy, you can't be blue. Not unless you're on the big blue ocean. Well, remember, God has you in the palm of his hand. Pray for Mother Earth, the birds, the bees, the flowers, and the trees, and for each other. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Remember, you are special. Look at you. You are so special. Maybe I better give some badges out today. I'll see you tomorrow. You have the best of days because we have another day. Bye-bye.